Hello? Okabe? It's me, Hiajo. I'm right next to your lab.
But she didn't get to say another word. What? They got her in broad daylight? I see. Will you eat dinner at home? Maybe, I guess. Okay, I'll have something ready. Aw, dude!
Hello?
What? Impossible. Wait, what? Wait. How's it going, everybody? HoodlaMutt here, back with some more Steins Gate Zero. And last time, we found out that Daru knows Moeka on the Beta World line, even though we technically don't. I didn't remember that we didn't know her, but apparently, yeah, she is foreign to us, and she does the whole arc rewrite thing, and we're suspecting that she works with CERN still, and she is supposed to help us find Kagari. We spent a lot of last episode looking for Kagari, not finding Kagari, even with Faris and Lukako's help, and apparently Lukako needed something from us right away, but we couldn't help him out because Moeka was right on her way over and showed up before Lukako could show us anything. So, whatever it was that he needed, we don't know yet. And now we're with Maho, so let's just get right into this, shall we? The Japanese office of the Global Brain Science Comprehensive Research Organization in Wako City, Saitama. Jeez, that's a mouthful every time. Maho Hiajo had tried her best to hold back a yawn, but in the end, she'd given up and opened her mouth so wide it covered well over half her face.
Ew.
One reason was that she'd gotten caught up in talking to Kudets last night, and only ended the conversation after it was late into the night. At first, they'd been discussing the research and experiments she'd been doing, but at some point, she'd gotten sidetracked into talking about Rintaro Okabe. Evidently, he'd been ignoring calls from Kudets for the last few days. Kudets was much madder at him than she was when he ignored her the first 8 times. It was the first sign of femininity that she'd ever seen from Kudets Makase. It was cute enough that Maho couldn't help but take the chance to get back at her for all the teasing she always did. She'd ended up staying up a lot later than she'd intended. And since she was too energized to sleep by that point, she'd gotten out Kudets' old laptop. She'd started to fiddle with it to see if there was some way to crack the password, and the next thing she knew, it was morning.
Password, huh? Maybe it would be better to ask a professional.
Oh, so maybe she is going to ask Daru. We flip some of the time frames around a little bit here. What's up now?
Yeah!
She suddenly heard a voice behind her and almost jumped out of her chair. I had a feeling. Ha ha ha! Is it really that surprising?
Professor? You're back?
Just now. He'd raised up his hands and showed her some plastic bags from a nearby convenience store. He'd left to go get lunch just 10 minutes ago, and she'd been sure he wouldn't be back for a while. You know, Japanese convenience stores have so much food to choose from. It's truly wonderful. You can eat a different boxed lunch every day, and a week later, you'll have new ones to choose from. And each store's got its own flavor, so you can get your food from them every day if you want.
If you keep eating boxed lunches from convenience stores, you're going to get fat.
Ha 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 ha! It's still healthy compared to American food. And you're probably right. Also, I don't think you have the right to lecture anyone about their eating habits. He was right. Nutrition wasn't an important consideration for Maho. In fact, she ate mostly cereal and meal replacement shakes, which made her diet very unhealthy. Heck yeah, cereal, let's go! By the way, what do you want to ask a professional for help with?
Oh, that. It's nothing. Nothing.
It wouldn't bother her if Leskinen found out, but for some reason she suddenly decided not to tell him. Yeah? If there's anything I can do to help, I will.
Thank you. I may take you up on that.
She stood up and headed for the door. Maho? Where are you going?
I'm going to Akihabara to get some fresh air.
That's a long way to go to just get some fresh air. If you just admit that you're going to see Lintalo, I'll permit it.
It's not like that!
It's not?
I might go see him while I'm there.
Okabe had a laboratory in Akihabara. Kudetsu had told her that last night. Oh, this is how she's gonna find his place to start with in this particular ending. Interesting. Okay. She'd said something about how he'd been avoiding it for a long time, and only recently started going there again. She's gonna be like, What is this place? This isn't a lab! Maho was a little interested in it too.
Just so we're clear, it's not like that. It really isn't.
I haven't said a word.
Anyway, I'm taking the day off.
Tell Lintalo I said hi. Still don't trust you now. First, Kudetsu, and now the professor. Why did they keep trying to make everything about romance?
And anyway, isn't that called sexual harassment these days?
For one thing, she wasn't going to Okabe's lab just to visit him. She wanted to see him again and see if she could get any hints about the password. He had said he didn't know, but he'd probably be able to come up with more than she could on her own. That was what she'd thought after seeing how he interacted with Amadeus. You could call it a woman's intuition. She was thinking about that when she changed trains and got off at Akihabara Station.
Huh?
She felt like someone was watching her and spun around. It was a weekday, but the station was crowded. She looked around at all the people, but none of them seemed to be paying her much attention.
I must have imagined that. Right?
She whispered to no one in particular as she started to walk again. Kudetsu had told her the location of the Future Gadget Lab. She wasn't that familiar with the layout of Akihabara, but if she needed to, she could ask her for directions. But what if she came in unannounced and Okabe wasn't there? That bothered her a little, but she decided she could just leave if that happened. Her eyes lingered on the junk parts lined up in the bins at the shops as she walked when... She felt someone looking at her again. But when she turned around, she still didn't see anyone. She started walking again, then went around a corner into an alley. And then she was sure of it. Footsteps. She could hear them behind her. Of course, that was nothing special. She would often be out walking at night and hear footsteps behind her. She'd speed up her pace, only to see an irritated man walk past a moment later. But this time, for some reason, she was sure it wasn't that. She decided to try walking faster, and found the footsteps went faster too. When she went slower, so did they. That's pretty astute to be able to tell the difference. Whenever she saw a scene like this in a movie, she imagined that she'd just kick the guy in the face. Now that it was actually happening, she was too scared to turn around. She fumbled for the phone in her pocket. The idea of calling the police never occurred to her. The only thing she thought of was the name of the man she was trying to meet. She picked it out of her call history and pressed the button with trembling fingers. Interesting. I'm wondering who would follow her. Well, wait, because is this before or after the people ransacked Waco City, the Waco City lab? Right? I can't remember if... I think that's... Oh, shoot. I think that's... after that happened? Right? Because I think the guy that attacked us in the, in the parking garage, I think was all before, you know, making the decision to turn our phone on or off. So, I think this probably happened. Anyway. Look at her phone. Wokia! Frickin' Wokia!
Please.
The footsteps overlapped with the sound of the ringing.
Okabe, help me.
The footsteps were almost on top of her, just when she couldn't take it anymore and was about to start running. Hello? She heard a voice coming from the other side of the phone.
Hello? Okabe? It's me, Hiajo. I'm right next to your lab.
But she didn't get to say another word. What? They got her in broad daylight? By the time she'd realized that someone had grabbed her from behind, the phone had already slipped from her hands. Oh, what the frick? What's this? I asked Moeka Kiryu as I took the papers she'd offered me silently. She'd contacted Daru just 10 minutes ago and told him she was on her way to the lab. And she'd arrived right at the time she said she would. She must have been very close when she'd contacted him. What was she going to do if no one was here?
Report.
Evidently, it was a report about her investigation thus far. The stack of papers was shaking a little in my hands. I still felt some unease when Moeka was in my presence. Maybe it was just because of the anxiety meds I'd taken right after she'd said she was coming, but I was still doing a lot better than yesterday. Oh, okay, interesting shot.
Well, Uncle?
I guess it really isn't going to be that easy to find her.
I see.
She must have been expecting something, at least a little. There was an obvious tone of disappointment in her voice.
Kagari, where are you? And what are you doing?
With no way to answer her, I just silently flipped through the pages of the report. What's up, Okarin? Find something useful? No, not really. But...
Let me see.
I handed the report over to Suzuha without complaint. I pointed to the part that interested me with my finger.
My investigation has revealed one interesting fact. Over the past 1 to 2 months, it seems another party besides ourselves has been searching for Kagari Shina. What does that mean? Just what you read.
Which meant... My phone started ringing before I could finish the thought. Interesting. Okay. So who the heck would be looking for Kagari? Was it Leskinen? And why would he want her? Like, is it because she's the only other person that time traveled and he found out about it or something? Anyway. The caller was Maho Hiajo. This was an important discussion. I'd just have to call her back in 5 minutes. She'd forgive me for that much, I was sure. Well, no, we gotta answer it, right? No, we gotta answer. Like we did with because he answered us, right? So, no, we gotta do it. Normally, I'd just ignore her and call back later, but... Sorry, can I take this? For some reason, I had to answer. That's what it felt like. Okay, it's still not January 2nd yet, so we should still be okay by answering this, right? Hello?
Hello? Okabe? It's me, Hiajo!
She sounded on the verge of panic, and my voice naturally rose to match hers. What's wrong? Hiajo?
I'm right next to your lab!
Immediately afterward, I heard what sounded like a struggle, and then something hitting something else. Hiajo? Hiajo? What's wrong? And then there was only silence. Okarin? What's wrong? From the tone of her voice, it was obvious something bad had happened. Someone's attacking this girl I know. Wait, seriously? Which girl? But I didn't stay to answer his question. I grabbed the nearest thing that could serve as a weapon and ran out of the lab. What'd he grab? She said she was close to the lab. Are we gonna get her? If she was coming from the station and had chosen a route that not many people would go down, she was probably... The alley directly in front of the lab. I saw someone there. They were tall and slender, and I could see a tiny silhouette struggling behind them. That was... I knew it. The only girl I knew that size was Maho. What is that?
Stop it! Let me go!
Someone had grabbed her, and she was trying desperately to escape. Hiajo!
Huh?
The person who was holding her turned in surprise at my voice. He grabbed the Asylum Saber. That's so good. About to turn this into a friggin' Star Wars episode, baby. Let's go. A woman? It was only then that I realized it was a woman, and that she wasn't Japanese.
Okabe?
Hey! Let go of Hiajo! Did she not understand me? No, but she should have been able to guess what I was getting at. Let her go. I tried to strike a threatening pose with my weapon in my hand. I finally realized that what I'd brought was the Asylum Saber. Still, it would serve as a bluff. I'll say it again. Let her...
It's not like that, Okabe.
Huh? It wasn't? It wasn't like what? Oh, you! Okay, it didn't look like that from behind. Okay. It's Reyes.
Oh!
The woman let go of Maho and smiled. She walked towards me with her arms open wide.
Are you Maho's boyfriend?
Huh? What? Wait. Before I could ask what was going on, she'd wrapped her hands around my back and given me a firm hug.
I told you he's not!
I had no idea what the heck was going on, but the two soft objects pressed into my chest kept me from moving. Alright, Okabe. Then, you know her, Hyajo?
I'm sorry. It was my mistake. I'm Judy. Judy Reyes. Pleasure to meet you, Mr. Okabe.
The woman named Judy Reyes offered me her hand, her broad smile like the sun itself. Nice to meet you.
Japanese will do just fine. What? You speak Japanese, Professor? Yes, actually. I had no idea. But why? When a girl gets to be my age, a lot happens.
Her mischievous wink looked pretty good on her.
Anyway, I'll introduce myself properly. Judy. Judy Reyes. Nice to meet you.
I returned her handshake. Dintaro Okabe.
Professor Reyes says she came to Japan for an AI conference.
She's a professor? At Victorchondria?
I research psychophysiology.
Psycho...
It's the intersection of psychology and biology. In other words, she researches how the activities of the brain affect the inner workings and diseases of the mind. In that sense, her research is a lot more useful to humanity than ours. That's not true. Depending on how it turns out, your Amadeus could turn into an incredibly useful piece of technology. It makes me happy to hear you say that.
In short, Dr. Reyes had happened to see Maho on the streets of Akihabara and had decided to surprise her by grabbing her from behind.
Still, that's pretty mean of you, following me all the way from the station. I followed you? From the station? That's right. You followed me the whole time, didn't you? No, I didn't. I happened to see you from that shop over there, and decided to surprise you. Huh?
Maho had only just relaxed when Dr. Reyes' answer drained her face of its color. Hyajo, someone followed you?
Yes. That's what it felt like.
Did you see anyone suspicious? Oh, someone was following her still. Okay. Dr. Reyes denied it, with that unique shrug that foreigners always do. So what's interesting is she's kind of nice in this particular route, but if you remember in the other route when we first got introduced to her, she was kind of, kind of aloof, kind of like, Maho, you sweet little child, go do other things, right? Kind of dismissive, because she had something to talk to Leskinen about, and that's when Maho, got found, that's when she found her out, so, interesting. Interesting that we're getting to see this other side of her. I looked back over the alley, but of course, I didn't see anyone.
I must have been mistaken then. I'm sure you were. Japan's the safest country in the world, right?
Was it?
What are you going to do now, Maho?
Reyes seemed to sense something in Maho's silence.
Ha! I see. Alright, I'll be on my way then. We should talk sometime, Dintaro. Bye!
She gave me a meaningful wink as she left. The station was in the opposite direction. Should I have said something? I got a strange sense that she was feeling me out, but it seemed like a waste of time to resist. So, this is Hyajo. You remember me telling you about how I met her at the seminar, right?
Sorry for all the fuss.
I ended up taking Maho back to the lab, where everyone was waiting for my return. Suzuha had actually gone out once to look for me, but evidently by that time I was already gone. Well, I'm glad it was nothing. Not fully nothing. After I gave an introduction and an explanation, everyone let out a sigh of relief. Maho seemed to want to ask a lot of questions about the lab, but I had something I had to finish first. Sorry. Where were we? We were talking about another group looking for Kagari-tan. Yeah, that's right. Is that true, Kiryu?
It's true.
I looked back down at Moeka's report, where she'd written all the details. She'd even hired a private investigator to check it out, which meant that it was probably true. There's no chance it was Suzuha?
I thought of that, but some of the people looking for her were men. Some were even foreigners.
Foreigners? Why would they be looking for Kagari? Because she's from another time period, obviously, dude. What do you mean? Very easily could be CERN, right?
I'm the only one with any connection to Kagari at this time. So, why would anyone...
Could it be CERN? Maybe CERN realized that she was from the future and had gone looking for her? Exactly. But if that was the case, then Moeko would have to know about it. No, the Rounders were all given their orders individually, so it would make sense if she didn't know what the others were up to. Kagari Shina's been here for 12 years. She has to have met some people during that time. More like she couldn't survive that long without somebody's help. That's true. In other words, what this report tells us is someone who knows who Kagari Shina is has started looking for her recently, for some unknown reason. That means that, at least until recently, she was alive. Oh, that's right! Unless they could travel through time like Suzuha, if they were looking for her, that meant they'd known where she was until she disappeared. If people had started looking for her in the last few months, that meant she'd been alive until then. There was nothing else to be learned from Moeka's report.
What will you do?
Shall I continue the investigation? If people were looking for Kagari in Akihabara, that meant she might still be here.
All right.
Moeka took her payment for the work she'd done so far and left the lab. Daru had paid the bill. It seemed that when his future daughter was at stake, he was willing to spend money. Well, it's not really his future daughter, right? It was his future daughter's companion, or his friend's adopted daughter, I guess you could say. I don't know. I don't see how Suzuha's technically at stake unless whoever these people are going after Kagari would be also going after Suzuha as well, so. We just haven't inferred that yet, I guess.
You're looking for someone?
Maho had been looking around the lab with interest. Yeah, just a girl I know. It worried me that some of the people looking for Kagari Shina weren't Japanese. Okay, hold on. Let's check this real quick. Oh, Mayuri! Hey, Okarin, what time are you getting home today? Huh? Something going on? I shouldn't be that late. I won't be coming home tonight. I mean, I like this one. I want him to come back, right? I also want to know what's going on, but that should tell us, right? I think. I see. Will you eat dinner at home? Maybe, I guess. Okay, I'll have something ready. Aw, dude! Huh? Why? Your mom asked me to. I just remembered. Some guys from school wanted to go out tonight. Yeah, that's a shame. I was going to make something good. Oh. Sorry. It's okay. I'll just make some for your dad then. Oh, she went to his place. You don't have to do that. I'll get him something on my way back. It's okay. Leave it to Mayushi. Sorry, Dad. No. No, dude. No. Oh, why? Why is everyone just bullying her about her poor cooking? She can't help that she can't do it, dude. Even outside of CERN, there were people all over the world who would jump at the chance to learn more about the time machine. If they somehow learned that Kagari was from the future, that could mean she was caught up in some kind of trouble. Alright, Okarin. Give me the KWSK on Hyajoshi. I've already told you everything there is to know, though. She was Dr. Leskinen's assistant, and both she and the professor had been very good to me. I was helping with their work a little. I'd told him all this before. For example, is there going to be a super development where she suddenly becomes a lab member? Probably not. Then, can I at least call her Maho-tan? Actually, I'm just gonna.
Maho-tan?
Huh? Did I get your name wrong?
That's not it. It's just a weird thing to say.
But you're Maho-tan, right, Maho-tan? Don't you agree, Okarin? Don't ask me.
Just stop calling me that.
But I refuse! He never changes, does he? Nope. We established that on episode 5. Yeah. So, anyway, Hyajo, what brings you to the lab today? Did I tell you about this place?
Amadeus told me. There was something I wanted to talk to you about, but forget it. I got to see this mysterious laboratory, and it looks like you're all busy.
Was she mad?
Yeah, she was really ticked off. She says you're not picking up her calls.
That's exactly what I expected, yeah. What? 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 What are we talking about? Nothing involving romance. Cool it, man.
Is this really bothering you after all, Okabe? If you want to stop being a tester, you can.
No, that's not it. It's just... I hated how I was starting to feel dependent on her.
Talk to her sometime, if you ever feel like it. She's lonely.
Okay. The word lonely made my heart ache a little. But even so, I still didn't talk to Kuditz that day. Several days had passed since Moika had given her report. I'd checked last night, and evidently there was nothing new to say. She had her deadlines for her magazine, she said, and couldn't spend a lot of time on it. That other group of people who were searching for Kagarishina concerned me, but I couldn't ask her to prioritize it over her own work. Oh, Mayuri!
Ugh. Mayushi is very disappointed.
Huh? Is this about the Christmas party?
Yup. Kade and Fubuki are both busy.
Oh, they're busy on this route. Okay. Alright, so the D-mail changed that too.
And Faris is at work. And Nei's going to spend it with her dad. And Dadu says he's going to go have fun with Yuki.
That's a good thing, isn't it? I'd heard that Suzuha had gone through a lot of work to set that up. She was always complaining that Dadu wasn't making his intentions clear with Yuki. From Suzuha's perspective, her own existence was at stake. Even if it was already fated to happen, something still might interrupt it. More than anything, she probably wanted to see her mom and dad getting along in this peaceful world. If something came out of this, it would probably make her feel better. You sure you don't want to spend Christmas with your family? Your dad was reserving a cake.
You met my dad?
I ran into him near my house. He was all excited because he was reserving a big cake to surprise you. Why would you ruin it then?
I see. Then maybe I should do that.
Oh, but don't let him know I told you. It's supposed to be a surprise. Yeah, you dummy. I guess he kind of had to tell her or else she wouldn't know what to do. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, okay. But what are you going to do for Christmas?
I guess I don't have any plans. My family never did stuff like that. The guys at school were having a men-only drinking party, but I hadn't been invited. I kept telling them she wasn't, but they insisted on thinking that Mayuri was my girlfriend. Some of them had it out for me because of that.
Didn't you say that one year you asked Santa for a present and the next day you found vegetables under your pillow?
Yeah, and it was obviously stuff left over from the day before. When I went to complain, my dad yelled at me and told me we weren't Christians anyway. Honestly, I'm amazed I actually grew up alright. Well, if you could call how I ended up alright.
Once Christmas is done, there's Kamima, and then New Year's. The year just flies by.
You're right. It hadn't flown by for me at all. I'd gone through the same span of days again and again. For me, the year had been unimaginably long.
Oh, I know. Hey, Okarin! Since we can't have a Christmas party, how about we have a New Year's party? We could all go visit the shrine and eat osechi and say Happy New Year's.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Right? Okay, then I'll ask everybody later.
Mayuri stood up to go.
Okay, Mayushi's about to go shopping.
Shopping?
Yup. I need some props for Fubuki's cosplay.
I see. Take care.
Okay. Oh, right. Okarin. Bukako wanted to talk to you about something.
Oh, Yeah, that's right, we never did get back with him. That's right. Lukaku had called me. After that, Moika had come, and so much had happened that I'd forgotten. Knowing Lukaku, since I told him I'd call him back, he'd probably been waiting for me the whole time. Aww. Got it. I'll get in touch with him.
Okay, thanks. Bye-bye.
My Yeti put on her coat, waved, and went out the door. Alright, I should get in touch with Lukaku. Alright, sounds good. Let's just get right on that. Still not the second, so we're fine. Let's see. Whoops, that's not where I need to go. There we go. Lukaku isn't picking up. Huh. Oh well. Wonder if something bad happened. Right? Because they had that person staying at their place? Huh. I'd have to send him a rhyme. I typed in my message and sent it. Sorry, I forgot all about yesterday. And then I waited a while for a response to come back. But there was no sign of him even reading the Rhine message. Was he busy with something? No, dude, something happened. Oh no. For a moment, I thought of going to the shrine to see. But if he was busy, I didn't want to bother him. He'd contact me when he had time. Just when I was thinking about that, I heard footsteps coming up the stairs outside the lab. It didn't sound like Daru. Daru's steps were a lot heavier. Come in. Oh. Okay. Hi. The heck didn't you pick up for? Hello. Lukaku. Good, Okabe. I'm glad you're here. It was Lukaku, the boy I'd just been trying to get a hold of. Sorry, I totally forgot. So I just called you. Huh? Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. I didn't notice either. He looked guilty, as if he'd done something wrong. No, it's fine. Anyway, you've got to be cold. Come in. Oh, sure. But he hesitated, seemingly distracted by something behind him. Huh? So, Okabe, I was going to talk to you about something. But first, there's someone I'd like you to meet. Is that okay? Someone you'd like me to meet? Well... Lukaku moved slightly to the side, and a girl disappeared behind him. Huh? Huh? What? Hello. What? Impossible. Wait, what? Wait. The girl there was... Whoa! I know. Okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute. That's Kagari. That's Kagari, but it looks exactly like Kudet's, dude. What the heck? Yo, that looks exactly like her. That's Kagari for sure, but also it does look like her when she's older. That is crazy. What the heck? Kudet. Nice to meet you. No way. Yeah, it looks just like her. Slightly different, but it looks just like her. Come in. Thank you. I offered her a cup of tea I poured out of a plastic bottle, and she thanked me in a voice that was almost impossible to hear. For my part, it was all I could do to keep the hand holding the cup from trembling. I took another good look at the girl sitting across from me. She looks just like her. Not like Lukaku. The girl in front of me looked just like Kaditsmakase. Her brown hair, her slightly slanted eyes, her unconcerned expression. Right now, there was no sign of her strong-willed nature, but other than that, they were identical. When I'd first seen her, my heart felt like it was going to stop. But on closer inspection, some parts were different. Like the size of her breasts. Yeah, an identifying factor, to say the least, yeah? Nice one, dude.
Huh?
Was she about our age? She looked older than Lukaku. I knew Lukaku had a sister. Could this be her? No, it's Kagari, alright. It's Kagari. You'll figure it out. Just gotta wait for Suza to come back. She'll be like, oh, what the frick? Yeah, alright. It's hard when I already know some of this, like, from the other one, like what she looked like. Although, I think technically, the part where it showed her face when she was little happened before picking her out, so I can't remember though now. She had a quiet air about her that seemed similar to Lukaku. But I thought I remembered hearing that Lukaku's sister was actually quite cheerful. This has to be the person that was at the shrine. That was the guest, right? Has to be. Makes sense to me. That's who I was guessing. If I'm right, dude, freaking, I deserve a cookie.
Okabe?
Oh, nothing. So, Lukaku.
Lukaku?
Oh, excuse me. That's just what I call him. Since, you know, he looks like a girl. I just realized that it was a pretty rude nickname. But it was a habit now, and there was no changing it. Alright, cool.
I see.
Her expression softened, just a little. She really did look just like her. I took a shallow breath and forced myself to relax. So, Lukaku, who is this?
Well, remember how I told you my dad had a visitor staying?
I knew it. Yeah, you told me. Is this her?
Yes.
That was a surprise. I thought a friend of your father's would be older.
Oh, no. More precisely, someone my dad knows brought her.
Oh. So this wasn't the person who was talking about Harumi. Okay. That made me feel a little better.
So, I wanted to talk to you about her.
Before that, can you tell me your name? It's hard to just keep saying her. Her face clouded. Did I say something wrong?
Actually, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. Well, how can we find out who this girl is?
It took a moment before I understood what he said. Wait a second, Lukaku. What do you mean?
She's got amnesia, she says.
She what? She does? On this particular world line that we're on, she does? What? Okay. How? That seems like a fairly big change. Before she was this like crazy biker agent. Okay. Either that or she's lying. Amnesia?
That's right.
Then she doesn't even remember her name?
That's right.
Or who she is?
That's right.
Why?
I don't know.
Interesting. Why would you bring her to us then, and not like, I don't know, the police or I don't know. Who would you bring to someone who has amnesia? A doctor? Hospital probably? Yeah. Of course not. If she knew, she wouldn't have amnesia. But why come to me?
I thought you might know of a good way to bring back someone's memories. You talk about memories and the brain and all that complicated stuff all the time. Anything you can do to help bring back my memories would be wonderful.
Wait. Sure, I talked about that stuff a lot, but I'm just an interested amateur. I don't know anything special. I knew how the brain worked and how it was laid out. And I knew what amnesia was, but bringing back someone's memories was a different matter. Unless... Yo, dude. Yo. What if we rebuilt the time leap machine and we could put her memories in her brain again? Dude, what if? Dude, I'm gonna call this like way ahead of time, and I just want to see if it happens when I call it. What if there's one of the routes is like he wants Kudits back so bad, right? And he's like, there's no other way to do it, but we build this like this time leap machine or whatever, right? And we can like send memories as data into people's brains. And what if he sends Amadeus Kudits' memories or whatever into freaking Kagari's brain, dude, just so he can be like, it's Kudits again, like what if that's like a psycho ending or something? Dude, I'm calling it. I just want to see if something like that happens, dude. I don't know why, but that sounds like something that could happen. Even the latest medical technology would be useless. Unless, of course, you had your memory stored on a system like Amadeus.
I see.
The girl was visibly disappointed.
Then is there some way you can find out who she is? Kana seems to be suffering so much.
Kana?
Luca's father gave me that name. He said I needed a name. He says it means temporary.
It doesn't sound like a lot of thought went into that. Was that okay?
He said I wasn't going to be using it forever. It would be better this way.
Huh. I couldn't tell if that was deep or not.
Okabe, is there anything you can do? If we could at least find out her name.
I'd love to help, but wouldn't it be faster to go to a private investigator? Well, I don't feel... Well, I guess it depends on... Yeah, maybe a private investigator could help if obviously it's Kagari, but if you didn't know, I guess that's someone you could take someone to. I don't know, I feel like the hospital would be the first place I would probably want to take someone.
A private investigator? Like a detective agency?
Yeah, but even that's going to be rough with nothing to go on at all. You didn't even have a wallet or a bag or anything?
No, nothing.
Nothing? Not necessarily something big. I'd imagine there has to be at least one thing. We just need Suzuha to get back here. She'll fix everything.
There is one thing, but I don't know if it'll help.
She slowly took out a handkerchief, as if it was something that was very important to her. Whatever was inside must have been the one thing she was carrying. May I see?
Yes.
Huh? Do we have visitors?
Almost at the exact same time Kana opened the handkerchief, I heard Mayuri's soft voice from the front hall. Evidently, she was back from shopping. Suzuha was behind her, too. That was a rare combination. Had they run into each other on the way? Here we go, baby. It's all we were waiting for. We just need to wait for Suzuha.
Oh, Mayuri.
It's Luca!
Brother Luca. Who is this?
You can't tell?
She's a guest who's staying with the family.
Kana bowed her head a little.
Wow!
For some reason, Mayuri gave a happy little sigh as she looked at the handkerchief in Kana's hands.
That's an Upa, right?
Yep. Uh-huh. Figured. Inside of the white handkerchief was a faded Upa keychain.
Do you like Upa? Mayushi loves him too.
Is this your clue? It was an old Upa keychain. Was that really a clue?
But how old is this? It looks pretty old.
It really did, come to think of it. Upa was a character from the Rainet Kakaru anime. Upa products had only been around for a few years now. But the one I was looking at was very old.
This was probably green to start with. It's the Forest Fairy version.
Forest Fairy?
Yup. It was in the movie that just came out. Mayushi's got one too, see? But the design's a little different.
I couldn't see any difference at all. No, it's the same one.
This keychain's really hard to find. So I was looking everywhere for it. And then Luca found it and bought it for me a while ago. Remember?
Yeah. I just happened to see it on sale.
That's strange, though. If it's from a new movie, it can't have been on sale that long. And yet it's so old. Huh. Oh? Only then did I realize how pale Kana's face was.
Are you okay, Kana?
Are you not feeling well?
I'm fine.
Kana tried to stand up and almost fell forward. Lukako quickly grabbed her. I know. I'll get you something cold. I went to get a bottle of water out of the fridge when I noticed that Suzuha was staring at Kana in shock. Suzuha?
This is impossible.
Huh? Strangely, Kana wasn't the only one who was shaking a little. Suzuha was too.
No. That Upa.
What's wrong, Suzuha?
I know that Upa. It's... Huh?
Huh?
Hey! Suzuha! Kana staggered a few steps towards Suzuha, and then a few steps more. It couldn't be. This must be so. I'm trying to remember exactly when stuff happened the first time around, but we might have found out some of the stuff we found out the first time around after keeping our phone turned on. So all this stuff that I know, maybe we weren't supposed to know this route. It's just I happen to have that information now. I can't remember. But it's interesting, because I feel like it's so obvious if I already had seen her when she was little. So, interesting.
No.
There was just no way. But...
Are you? Kagari?
What?
Are you Kagari? Are you Kagari Sheena?
Kana's eyes went wide. And she slowly collapsed to the floor.